You are being played, not by one side, by both of them. The hustle culture machine told you to grind until you break, to optimize every hour, to wear exhaustion like a badge of rank. And when you finally hit the floor, burned out and empty, the soft life movement was right there waiting, telling you to rest, to protect your peace, to slow down and let go. Two movements, two sets of content creators, two merchandise lines, and both of them made money while you stayed exactly where you started, reactive, directionless, and controlled by whatever narrative got to you last. That is not discipline. That is not strategy. That is a pawn being moved from one square to another and told it was freedom both times. Machiavelli understood something that most people never do. The most effective form of control is the kind that does not look like control. It looks like liberation. It looks like a community, a movement, a tribe. He wrote that the prince who rules through the appearance of virtue has a far tighter grip than the one who rules through open force. Because the man who is openly oppressed at least knows he is oppressed. The man who is ideologically managed does not even feel the hand on his back. He feels inspired. He shares the content. He buys the course. He never asks who benefits. Hustle culture and soft life are not opposing philosophies. They are opposing products marketed to the same exhausted, searching man at different points in his breaking cycle. When he is hungry and ambitious, hustle culture sells him the grind. When he burns out, soft life sells him the retreat. He oscillates between them his entire life, never building anything lasting, never developing a governing framework of his own, never becoming the one who sets the terms. He is the market. He is not the strategist. He is the pawn, and the board was designed to keep him moving. Marcus Aurelius, who governed the largest empire on earth while personally managing grief, betrayal, plague, and war, never wrote about grinding. He never wrote about protecting his peace either. What he wrote over and over in the private journals he never intended for anyone else to read was about the discipline of right action. Action calibrated to his own judgment, his own values, his own purpose. Not the judgment of the crowd, not the rhythm of the culture, his. He wrote, "Confine yourself to the present. Do not be tossed about." He did not mean rest. He did not mean grind. He meant govern. He meant be the one who decides the tempo, not the one who inherits it from whatever is trending. Epictetus, a man who was literally enslaved, drew a line that changed everything. There are things within your power and things that are not. The culture's noise is not within your power. The grind or rest binary the algorithm serves you is not within your power. What is within your power is the standard you set for your own days, the quality of attention you bring to your own work, and the clarity with which you distinguish between effort that builds something real and effort that is simply anxiety dressed as productivity. That distinction is everything. And it requires a kind of self-knowledge that neither hustle culture nor soft life will ever teach you. Because both of them need you to remain dependent on the external signal to know when to move. Now here is the move. Here is what the strategist actually does. First, name the game. Every time you find yourself pulled toward a cultural narrative about how you should be living your days, whether it is hustle harder or rest more, ask one question. Who built this narrative and what do they need from me to benefit from it? That is not cynicism. That is basic Machiavellian pattern recognition. Movements that generate money for someone else by keeping you in a state of chronic reaction are not your allies. Name them clearly, and they lose their grip. Second, build your own operating rhythm from the inside out, not the outside in. Seneca wrote that no wind is favorable to the man who does not know which port he is sailing for. Before you can set a sustainable tempo for your days, you need an honest answer to a harder question. What are you actually building? Not what inspires you in a YouTube thumbnail. What are you specifically constructing with your time on this earth? What domain, what capacity, what body of work, what level of self-command? When you have a real answer to that question, your daily rhythm almost writes itself. You do what serves the build. You rest what needs to recover to keep serving the build. You stop doing what neither advances nor recovers anything, which you will discover eliminates most of what the algorithm was competing for your attention with. Third, treat your energy as a strategic resource, not a moral signal. This is the piece both hustle culture and soft life get catastrophically wrong. Hustle culture treats exhaustion as virtue, proof of commitment, evidence of worth. Soft life treats rest as virtue, proof of self-respect, evidence of health. Both are using energy as a signal of moral status. A strategist does neither. A strategist manages energy the way a general manages troops, not to signal anything to anyone, but to have the right resources available at the right time for the objectives that matter. You train hard when training builds capacity. You rest deliberately when rest is the most productive thing your system can do. You protect the hours that build your domain like a fortress, and you do not apologize for either the work or the recovery, because both are in service of something real, not in response to something cultural. Fourth, develop a standard of non-negotiables that belongs entirely to you. Not a morning routine you copied from a YouTube thumbnail. Not a productivity system you read about in a book that was itself a product. Your own small, honest set of daily standards. The things you do regardless of how you feel, regardless of what the culture is telling you today, regardless of whether anyone sees. For some men, that is an hour of physical training before the world demands anything of them. For others, it is a period of undistracted deep work where the phone does not exist. The specific practice matters less than the fact that it is yours. It is consistent, and it answers to no one's approval. Epictetus called this the discipline of desire, wanting only what is within your power to have. A standard that is genuinely yours is one you can always meet. A standard borrowed from someone else's brand is one that will always make you feel behind. Fifth, audit what you call burnout. This is a hard one. Some of what men call burnout is genuine, the result of sustained high-pressure work without recovery or meaning. That is real, it is physiological, and it demands respect. But some of what gets called burnout is not exhaustion from building something meaningful. It is the demoralization that comes from working hard in the wrong direction for so long that the effort no longer connects to any purpose you actually chose. That is not burnout, that is misalignment. And the cure is not rest, the cure is clarity. A clear-eyed assessment of whether what you are doing is actually building the domain you named, or whether you are grinding for someone else's vision while telling yourself it is yours. Machiavelli would call this the difference between the prince who acts and the minister who executes. Know which one you are right now. If you are executing someone else's agenda, that is the thing to change, not your sleep schedule. You are not here to oscillate. You are not here to be the product that hustle culture and soft life pass back and forth between them, each extracting a subscription fee at a different point in your cycle. You are here to build something, a self that is governed from within, a life that is built on your terms, a domain that reflects your actual standards and actual judgment. That is what sovereignty looks like in practice. Not relentless output, not strategic rest. Self-command, the capacity to set your own tempo, hold your own standard, and refuse to be moved by whatever the culture decided this week. Marcus Aurelius ran an empire from a tent on the front lines of a war he did not start. He did not optimize his morning routine. He did not protect his peace. He governed, he held, he built. And the record he left was not a productivity system. It was a philosophy of self-command that has outlasted every empire, every trend, and every movement that told men how they should be spending their days. That is where you are going, not to the grind, not to the retreat, to the sovereign seat, the place where you decide, you hold the standard, and you build on your own terms. If that is the arc you are on, STOLVEX is where you keep building it. Subscribe and join the newsletter. The link is below. Every week, one principle, one real move, nothing borrowed from the machine that was trying to play you.